Ready?
Ready.
All right.
Okay, guys, thank you for coming. Happy Halloween. I know it's one day before, but and for those of you who are wearing your costumes, you look great. I don't know if you're familiar with the Very Odd Parent, but that's Wanda, who I'm dressed up as, just in case. But anyway, yeah, let's get started. Let's see.
Yep.
Okay, so today we're just gonna go over a few updates that we just wanna let you know that we're kind of working on. I know Fred, he's gonna share some stories that he and experiences that he's gone through that he wants to just share with you. Then we're gonna have Reminder Media, our guest speaker. He is online. So you'll be able to see his face and his presentation once we're done. And then we will proceed, hopefully 12:30 is when we're scheduled for our Halloween lunch and our Halloween costume. So first, next Wednesday, Fred, he's giving out a class at the Prince William Association of Realtors, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're doing contracts, Virginia contracts, addendums. What was the other?
The whole Virginia set of contracts, which includes purchase contract, listing agreement, and all addenda.
Okay, I sent out last week the link for you guys to RSVP. I'll send another reminder. So, and just remember, it's at the PWAR office, not here. And if you are a member of Prince William, it's complimentary, and if not, it's an additional $60.
If you are or anyone that you know has any problem or question with a contract, any of those contracts, this is an extremely long and informative class. If you have any question on any part of the contract, this is for new agents, but I have had so many times in that particular class, which I have done for years now, I have had agents who've been there, who have been licensed for 10, 12 years. And they say, wow, we never had this much detail into contracts. So if you have any question, any issue with contracts, please make sure you attend this. It's six hours, 6 hours, 9 in the morning till 12, 1 hour lunch, 1 to 4. So 6 hours of talking about contracts, every line of the contract.
That was RCE.
No, it does go toward, in your case, it goes toward your PL, which is post-license. After you get your license, for the first 2 years, you need PL. That is 6 hours for that class. People who have been licensed for more than 2 years, no CE. But it does work for you for 6 hours.
And then I love your costume. Then on the 20th of next month, November, we're gonna be hosting our November sales meeting, and we will be having CPB Media. The CEO will be in here to speak. So I really hope you guys can make it. I will send an invitation next week, and then maybe like 3 more reminders for you to attend. I know, Jose, you've been working with them, so we know it's a great recommendation for you guys, especially because we've got a request of any photography or video services that we might offer. So hopefully this is something that will work for you guys, and we're excited to have them here. So just remember, it's on the 20th of November. And then, so I know I've mentioned this before, but we're working on enhancing all our tools and our resources for you guys. So something that we're working on that it already exists. It's our marketing hub where you can order your flyers, your business cards, and all of that. But we're trying to bring all of that together so that it is more efficient. And I mean, I don't have a problem with you guys reaching out to me and placing those orders, but I think it's better if you will have like a system where you can go to and order everything through there.
We're gonna add like an editing and design so that you guys can get creative with your marketing flyers and stuff.
So just let you know, this is something that's coming soon. It's not totally available yet, but we just wanted to let you know that that's something that we're working on. And then I know, Jose, you want to talk about a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we've been working on an AI feature that we're hoping to roll out here over the next couple of weeks. This feature is gonna aid you guys in it's gonna be sort of like an inside sales agent. But it's gonna be an AI agent where you're gonna be able to supply a list of maybe leads or a list of people you want the system to call for you. And he's gonna make, he can make calls for you. And we're gonna be rolling this out to a few agents. I'm gonna reach out to a few of you to test it out first, and then hoping to roll it out company-wide over the next couple of months. So it's something very, very exciting. It's something that it's gonna help a lot of you streamline a lot of calls and hopefully get you guys more business. Okay, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
So
pretty. Mhm.
Yeah.
So those are two things that we're working on. I hope, we can get those up soon and it's gonna help you with your business.
Mhm.
And now Fred, I'll give you the floor.
I want
Just like Fred, that's a great customer.
well,
He has a twin. He has a twin.
look at that Fred.
He has a twin.
We have two friends right here.
I'm serious. Isn't he much better looking than he was yesterday? Way better. Way better looking. You don't need a name. Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Yeah, you don't need it. All right, I want to share a couple of stories with you, experiences in the last few weeks. And it's not, the purpose of it is not to kill time. The purpose of it is educational. And every single one of you, if you have any comments, please, Jose, if you have any comments, if you have anything to add to it, please do.
Okay, he's getting red.
Yeah, if you have any comments, if you have any, I mean, not questions, because I'm telling you just a story. But if you have any comments, please share. And these are three stories that I've had in the last few weeks, which are very interesting. And believe me, every day you learn something new. Every day you learn something new.
These
And
are
I'm
great.
not gonna,
These are great.
and I'm not gonna name any age.
I can share one.
In case, if you are the one,
It wasn't
just
me.
don't
Don't say that.
don't raise your hand. Yeah. One case, we had a closing 3 weeks ago. The agent went to the walkthrough. Everything looks good. The owner moved out, the place is clean, everything is fine. They came here, they did the closing. And this is an investment property. The buyer is not going to live. So the next day, the buyer goes there to take a look at the house around to see what's going on and change the lock. He goes there, he looks around and changed the lock. Again, he's not gonna live there. He changed the lock with a brand new lock. He left for a couple of 3 days. 3 days later, he went back to see what's going on. The lock is changed again, so he couldn't open it. So he kind of thought I don't know, maybe cleaning people. I mean, cleaning people don't change the lock. He looked from the window, there is a broom and a couple of pieces of other stuff in the house. So he didn't think of anything, which I suggested later on, you should have called the police or called somebody, you called me or whatever. And he changed the lock again. He called the locksmith and he changed the lock again. Spend another couple $100, change the lock again. Went inside, take a look around, everything is fine. He left. So 3 days later, he went back and the lock was changed again.
Thanks.
So at that time, he called police. And the police went there, looked inside, and police says, we cannot break in. I mean, we don't have the right to break in. It looks like somebody has been here. It looks like somebody has been here, squatter or trespassing or whatever. There is nothing we can do. I mean, if there was a guy, oh my.
Okay.
So he, the police says, I can't help you. Can't help you, we can't do anything, we cannot break in. So he called an attorney, he called a lawyer, and the lawyer says, the only thing I can do is, if you want to camp out around and see who's coming to go into the house, then you can call the cops and then we can get the guy and say, hey, you're going to somebody else's house. Otherwise, we can't do anything, you have to go to court. Well, to go to court for who?
What are you gonna
Who am I going against? So they look, again, at some point, now, this may not be the whole story, but at some point there was a guy inside. So somehow they talked to the guy inside, said, who are you? What are you doing here? He says, take a look at the mailbox. I have mail coming in here, utility bills coming in here. I'm the owner of the house. I said, which owner? The owner was a seller I saw 2 weeks ago. He said, no, there is something called in Virginia adverse possession. And I've been living here for 6 months, so now I'm the owner. I pay the utility bills, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the guy probably didn't know what he was talking about. Adverse possession is some really old, I guess, English law. It could be relevant if the guy lived there for 15 years. In Virginia, it has to be 15 years. But in either case, there are a couple of things you can do. One is just stay around there. If the guy walks in, grab him, or go inside the house. If the guy comes to your house, shoot him, or whatever, or whatever. Otherwise, you have to go to court. And you know his address, so we can send the notice to his address and go to court. Hopefully you get him out. But
How do you prevent that? What do you?
yeah, he changed the law
And
twice.
it's, you have to go to court. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, how
But
do you
adverse
prevent
possession-
that? Preventing for future, so it doesn't happen to anybody else.
So he was attempting to do that. Like if you go and take possession of a property for years in Virginia, like he said, it's 15 years.
Fresh, in this case, why he didn't call to the listing agent for that to check the position, the case. He should call the listing
The
agent.
listing agent had nothing to do with
But
it.
it's still.
The guy who was there was not the actual owner.
No, the listing agent can connect to the seller and then they have to involve, resolve the situation, they are on the part of the transaction.
I'm not following you.
No,
The listing agent and
The
the seller
settlement
are
is
gone. Settlement took place, this is the next
no,
day.
this is just like next day, or second day or third day, right?
Yeah,
So, in this case, if something happened for in future, if we are all agents and we can first connect to you are the listing agent, talk to the seller who is there.
the seller doesn't know. The
Nobody
seller
knew
doesn't
about
know.
somebody living for
That
6
tenant
months.
was the tenant who empty the house. He
No,
was living there.
no,
and he emptied
no, the house was vacant when they went
But-
to walking.
Okay,
So it's probably somebody who knew what was going on.
so-
He was waiting for something to happen. He probably
But-
knew the previous owner. I don't know the exact details on that. What I'm trying to tell you
That's
is,
kind of foreign transaction,
it's, if the new buyer was inside the house and somebody is trying to come in, then you can call the cops, then you can beat him up, then you can shoot him or whatever. But if you're not there and they just go and change the law, there's not much you can do, especially when you go back, there's a new lock on the door and the guy is not inside. Again, you, as an owner, you can break in, which he did, and change the law, which he did.
Yes.
But then 2 days later, the
Okay.
other guy came back and changed the lock again.
Can you put the?
If you-
belonging?
Oh, by the way, the attorney in this case suggested that while you're waiting for the court or whatever,
No,
put a camera over there.
exactly.
If you cannot be around and watch and see when the guy comes in and catch him, just put a camera on. So,
So I just wondered, you said he claims he has been there 6 months. He has a change of address. I thought this whole thing happened within a week.
maybe he's lying. Maybe it happened overnight.
It's crazy.
He's saying he may be
It's
crazy.
insane.
But the fact that he knows about adverse possession is he is either got some sort of a legal education or he is a really, really, really good thief or good
Yeah.
crook or whatever. Not everyone on the street knows what adverse possession means.
Unless you've been to my class.
Exactly.
No, but
Check your roster.
Yeah.
And their addresses.
Yeah, that's
But they
a good idea.
happen at the end.
At the end, they just filed with the court, the court. This is
We call it
just,
Marguerite.
yeah,
Chris, it's a Chris. It's
this
a
was just a few days ago.
The utility.
Right? So,
Okay.
but the second one, they just put it out there and take the house and live there for some days.
Yeah,
Even instead to be in the court.
yeah, he could.
Yes.
He didn't.
Is that the result
I
now?
think he's.
What she is suggesting is the new buyer to change the law and go inside and live there for a couple of days. Yeah, that's a possibility, but the guy didn't want to do that. This is by the way, just to give you the context of it. This is a $500,000 or so investment property. The owner lives in a $3 million house in Mac Lane, so he's not gonna go live
I
there.
know. I
He doesn't.
put it somebody there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Change the lock and put somebody there and pay him a
Yes.
couple $100 to
Bed.
see it over the night and give him a gun.
But the utility companies ask a social security number and everything.
Maybe there is no utility. Maybe the guy was lying.
Okay, but the seller would have known.
The problem, Fred, the problem is that the guy was renting the place before and then they changed the name. It could be,
It could be.
yeah, so otherwise there's no chance to have the name on it.
Second story. Second story,
Very weird.
another case. There was an offer and a counter offer, an offer and a counter offer, and finally the bottom line is the offer asked for, this is Virginia. The offer asked for price, concession, and then 2.5% seller paying the buyer broker commission. Okay? So went back and forth. The final counter from the seller was 1.5% paying commission to the agent. And the agent wrote back to the listing agent that I want my 2.5%. And the listing agent and the broker called me and they raised hell that we're gonna file against you guys and we're gonna take your the agent's license and we're gonna go to ethics committee, ethics violation, et cetera, et cetera. And they are right. The agent is not asking for the seller to pay buyer broker. The buyer is asking. So the language of the email was important.
Yeah.
I want my 2.5% is the violation.
Oh my.
The buyer wants me to get 2.5%. That's a difference. Or actually, the better word is the buyer wants my broker to get 2.5%. That would be fine.
No, but the 1.5 was signed. They agree.
No, it's a counter.
Oh,
Part of the counter.
Oh, okay.
The issue was I want my 2.5%.
Oh,
You want your 2.5%? Get it from your buyer.
Yeah.
You want your, as a matter of fact, the buyer broker agreement was 3%. So she could get it from the buyer. But she didn't want the buyer to pay, so the buyer asked her to respond. But the problem was that one little word, I, that started the whole issue. And they're still going back and forth with that. And the broker says, if she says the buyer is asking for it, that's fine. We can argue and we can respond and we can counter. But everything was agreed upon, the price and the terms and the concession and everything was agreed upon. She's the one doesn't let this deal to go to close. So, one word, that's the problem.
But they,
And put it in writing, and you put it in writing.
yeah, in writing is
Just saying on the phone, saying it on the phone is one thing, put it in writing.
because last time I got, she said, I'm not giving up my 2.5%. Then other buyer's agent was saying, I'm not gonna give up my commission. So that's what happened. Then the buyers got less money for concession money. But she said, I don't want to give up my 2.5%.
So that was
But not
the
written.
Yeah, don't, say it to you, right?
Yeah.
second story.
Fred, what was it? In that case that you just mentioned, there was an addendum?
No,
No, then.
no, it's on the face of the contract, the first page of the contract.
Just-
It says price, down payment, seller subsidy, sellers paid buyer broker commission. Sellers paid buyer broker commission. That's part of the offer. The buyer is asking the seller
Yeah.
to pay the commission. The buyer is asking the
It
seller.
wasn't in writing or was in writing?
Like in email.
It's in the contract.
No, in email, the communication, the
Oh, the
communication.
communication?
Yeah, yeah.
So just because an email void the contract, what?
There is no ratified contract to be void.
Oh,
There is no
They haven't
ratified
disturbed
contract.
it. Yeah.
The commission on the first page of the contract is part of the negotiation.
right.
Price, down payment, seller subsidy, and commission. That's part of the negotiation. That's part of the negotiation between the buyer and the seller. Has nothing to do with the agent.
So the buyer agent sent an email saying that
Correct,
I want.
correct.
It's
I
not part
want,
of the contract.
I want my 2.5. I want my 2.5. I want my 2.5. That's the. And the last story was ratified contract. All the contingencies met. The listing agent calls the buyer's agent and says, my client, the seller, was just diagnosed with a terminal cancer. He's gonna die in a couple of months. They want to void the contract. Would you talk to your buyer? They wanna stay and live in the same house. They wanna die in the same house, in their house. So the buyer's agent is our agent, called me and said, this is what the seller, this agent is saying. What do I do? I said, well, talk to your buyer. There are two aspects to this. One is the emotional and humanitarian aspect of it. One is the legal. Explain everything to your buyer. The human part of it is the guy wants to die in his own house. I mean, let them do it. That's the human part of it. The legal part of it, that's not an excuse to terminate the contract. Sickness, illness is not an excuse to terminate the contract. As a matter of fact,
Death. It's not death.
Even
either.
death.
as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, even if the seller dies, the contract doesn't die.
Right.
A bilateral contract, which is a sales contract, a bilateral contract, with the death of one party, the contract doesn't die. Now, if the death is on the buyer side, the loan will not be given to a dead person. Then automatically the contract is going to die, not by action, but by people. But if the death is on the seller side, the contract survives. The heirs or whatever, the estate should proceed. So that's the legal aspect of it. But, being a nice person, so they talk to the buyer and the buyer says, I have terminated my rental place. I have paid 2 months of fine penalty. I changed my job, etc., etc. In order to void this contract, I need 20,000. So they told the seller, and the fight went on and on and on, and eventually they said, the seller said, I'm gonna get a lawyer. Again, the broker called me. I said, listen, I feel really, really bad. And if I were the buyer, I would terminate the contract. But I can't put a gun over the buyer's head. It's the buyer's decision. I can't help it. But let me help the seller with the attorneys. The attorneys can't do anything about this. So anyway, the bottom line is after weeks of back and forth, the seller agreed to sell and
Died.
she hasn't died yet. No. And they're going to they're going to settle it.
Not yet.
But that was the third story. I'm done with my stories, but please,
Don't
please, when you send me forms to sign,
Que você decide.
buyer's agreement or listing agreement, please make sure that every single item, especially the essential parts, is filled out. Don't leave the expiration blank, don't leave the commission blank, don't leave the price blank. Make sure everything filled out. Also, make sure, please, that the client signed first. Happy Halloween.
Thank you, Fred. Okay, I think we're ready.
All right, thank you so much. Well, first and foremost, I just want to take a second to thank Fred and Alexia for having us out today. Fred's actually a past client of ours from many, many years ago. I can see that he's doing bigger, better things now, but I appreciate the time to spend with your team. Obviously, the holidays are upon us. I think every realtor in the room should be wondering, what am I going to send out for fourth quarter to get myself into a pole position for first quarter? For those of you that are familiar with Reminder Media, maybe you've seen us in the past, maybe you've worked with us in the past, I would ask you, don't tune me out just yet. We've got a lot of new additions that we've launched over the last 12 months. I think you guys are going to be very pleasantly surprised. For those of you that are not familiar with Reminder Media, let me give you a quick background on the company. Reminder Media has been in business for 20 years. We have over 35,000 plus realtors that currently use our services nationwide, and we've serviced over 140 different relationship-based businesses in that 20-year span. Now, I'm not sure if a lot of you have seen the recent study conducted by the NAR. 81% of home sellers this year are only interviewing one agent. So when you look at that study, you have to say to yourself, 9 times out of 10, when you go to a listing appointment, if you don't get the agreement on the first appointment, the chances are you're not going to get it. So you definitely have to sound the part, but your brand recognition and your marketing materials are absolutely going hand in hand with the first impression that you're making on people. The second thing that the NAR discovered was that 65% of sellers and 56% of buyers are all just choosing their agent through referral or through word of mouth. Now, if you look at this kind of graph here, a lot of agents this year have been very hyper-focused on this side of the pond. So you might be doing things like cold calling people. Maybe you're buying Zillow leads, Realtor.com. You might be doing Facebook, Instagram. Please, by all means, I'm not saying that your team, you shouldn't be doing these things. You absolutely should. But when you look at all of these marketing strategies combined right now, they only represent 35% of the total listings nationwide. 65% of all listings nationwide right now are coming from your database. Now, with that said, let me show you one of the really intriguing parts about working with us. We are no longer just a real estate marketing company. We actually have our own real estate team. They're called the Akery Brothers Realty Team. And believe it or not, they're actually based right in Lynchburg, Virginia. You might be familiar with this team. Now, it's a very intimate team of realtors. We only have 5 agents that are working on this team. But last year alone, they closed 260 deals with over 68 million in volume and over 50% of their deals coming through referral. This year, they've done the same with the same 5 agents. They've done over 320 deals. For anybody that's in the room that's a new agent, this gentleman right here on the bottom right, the skinnier guy, his name is Tim Bushnell. He's only been an agent. He's only been an agent for a year and a half. And last year he closed 70 deals using exactly what I'm going to show you in this demo. Now, let me make something very clear. I am not showing you these numbers to impress you guys. The reason that I'm showing you these numbers is to prove to you that we have proof over promises. What we do here works. It's not a question of does it work or not. Now, with that said, let me show you the main bread and butter touch point that this team is using. We have 4 different branded magazines that we offer. We have Good to Be Home, Start Healthy, American Lifestyle, and Business in Action. All 4 of these magazines are 48-page branded magazines. They look and feel very similar to like a Southern Living or an Architectural Digest, if you're familiar with those magazines. Now, what makes the magazine special is that we brand it to your brand. So you actually get the front cover, the inside front cover, 2 tear-out cards, and then the back inside cover and the back cover. So in those 6 areas is where we're going to implement things like your featured listings, your recently sold properties, customer testimonials, information about the brokerage you work with. We make you look like the star of the show in these 6 areas of customization. Let me show you a little bit closer look here. Starting on the front cover of the magazine, we make you the star of the show. You'll have your headshot, your contact information, your logo, your website, everything's front and center on the magazine. Right above the title, we'll say compliments of your name. And then another nice little nuance that we add, if you look here how it says issue 30, the reason that issue numbers are important is for 2 reasons. One, it's going to give you a more seasoned perception. It's going to make you look more tenured than you are. And the second reason that we do that is for shelf life. We do not put any dates on the magazines, and we do that on purpose. We want to make sure that they're timeless and that you can leave them behind in a local business, and you don't have to worry about a secretary throwing them away once a month because there's an old date on the cover. Now, obviously, that the holidays are upon us. I'm going to show you guys a holiday issue here, but you don't have to do a holiday issue if you want to focus on something for first quarter and do a first quarter kind of launch. We can do that as well. But let me show you one of these seasonal copies. On the inside front cover, you'll see a letter here that says Dear Bill and Judy with a personalized letter and the picture of the realtor next to it. This is just like if you were to send somebody a thank you card or a Christmas card or a birthday card. We can write personal letters to all of your clients. So it really gives you the ability to nurture your past client relationships and make sure that you're staying top of mind with them. You could also use this letter for a value proposition or a bio about you. A lot of agents will use these for open houses and listing appointments and other use cases. So we can write different letters for you based on different use cases. On the next page here, you'll see Christmas tree cupcakes. So we actually give you 2 recipe cards in the magazine. They're about the size of a postcard, and they're on a perforated line. So they do tear out of the magazine. It can be shared with people. Now, we just do seasonal recipes by default. You don't have to do recipes. I've seen other agents use these for things like football schedules or sports schedules. You could do healthy living tips, motivational quotes. We have a lot of different templates to choose from. But by default, we're going to do seasonal recipes for you. I think that the universal love language for most people in this world is food and cocktails. Okay, you can't get away from that. So it's a really nice nuance to add into your magazine and give them something to share with people. As we continue flipping through here, I'm going to go very quickly through the contents, guys. I want to be respectful of the meeting time here. So I just want to show you overall what a magazine would look like. But it is very general interest. When I say general interest, I mean it's going to have things in it like do-it-yourself projects, seasonal advice, household management ideas, ways you can improve your property value, recipes for the kitchen, landscaping, gardening, interior design and decorating. It really has a little bit of something for every walk of life. No matter what kind of client you send this to, they're going to be able to find content that resonates with them. Now, I think more importantly than just the content itself is what the magazine doesn't have in it. This magazine or any of our magazines, they do not have any ads or solicitations, right? So you're not going to see solar panels for sale or air conditioning units or oil of Olay shampoo, any of those type of things. And we also don't put any controversial content. So no politics, no religion. It really is meant to be a gift or an item of value that you can use to give to your clients and send to past clients to nurture them. As we get towards the tail end of the magazine, here's your second recipe card towards the back. And then again, just to reiterate, we're going to give you the back inside cover, and we're also going to give you the back cover here, which has all of your branding. And again, we could have your featured listings back here, your recently solds. If you have a lot or land that you're selling, any of those things can be integrated into this magazine. Now, the only difference between our 4 magazines is the theme of the content. Some of you might like something that's more health and wellness related. We have Start Healthy. Some of you might want something that's more travel and music and design. We have American Lifestyle for that. Or maybe you do commercial real estate. Maybe you have people that are financial advisors, lenders. Maybe they're small business owners or entrepreneurs. You can use Business in Action for them. So you can actually mix and match these magazines based on the clients that you're sending them to. Now that you've seen the magazines, let's talk about how are you going to use it? How are you going to get a return on investment using something like this? Well, the first way, I think everybody in this room and on this call can agree, cold calling people stinks. Okay, nobody likes to do it. I've never met a realtor that is super gung-ho about cold calling people. You don't have to cold call them anymore. You can use your magazine as your touch point to call them. It is much easier to call a client and say, hey, did you get my gift in the mail? I sent you a magazine about a week ago, and use that conversation as your leverage to have a good conversation with them about real estate. This eliminates the cold calling. Now, you could also use this as a perfect alternative to a holiday gift card, a Christmas card, a thank you card. I am not saying that sending somebody a thank you card or a Christmas card is not a beautiful touch point from their realtor, but I think we can all agree that a day after they read your thank you card or 2 days after they read it, they're going to throw it in the trash can. A day or two after Christmas, they're going to throw your Christmas card in the trash can. I'm not saying don't do these things, but they lack one very major component: shelf life. The magazine gives that to you. Now, the second use case is a landing page. So we actually give you landing pages with this magazine. We create these for you. If you have your own landing page, you can use that as well. But the unique ability to have a landing page on the front cover gives you the sense of having a call to action. A call to action would be something as simple as scan here for a free home estimate or scan here for a free CMA. We actually track these QR codes for you. So as soon as your client fills this out to get their home estimate, in return, you will get an email with their name, their address, their phone number, and everything you need to generate that listing opportunity is all provided right through the cover of your magazine. Your next use case, we already talked about the letter on the inside front cover. I just wanted to mention one other use case here. If you currently have a newsletter, maybe you have like your own personal newsletter that you do, we can take your newsletter and put that right on the inside front cover as well. So if you want to replace your newsletter with this magazine, you can do that as well. Your third use case, open houses. The one thing that I can say about open houses that is always going to be true is that when a client goes to your open house, they are not just going to go to your open house that day. They're going to go to 3 or 4 open houses that day. With all due respect, most open houses are like a carbon copy of each other. It is always the same stuff: grass signs, business cards, water, snacks. Again, I'm not saying change what you're doing. I'm saying complement what you're doing. If somebody gets home from 3 open houses that day and they met 3 realtors, how are you differentiating yourself? What do they have in their hand that helps them discern who's the best agent of the day? A magazine versus 3 business cards is absolutely going to build your brand credibility. This is a very classy way to tell people I'm the right guy or girl to work with, and I don't really need to say it to you. Your next use case would be dropping these off in local businesses. What's the one thing that 70% of local businesses in the Virginia area all have in common? It is waiting rooms with magazines. Your doctor's office, your dentist's office, your attorney's office, your CPA, the car dealership where you go get your oil change, they all have waiting rooms with magazines. Unfortunately, you're never going to be able to send a newsletter or a postcard or a flyer to a doctor's office and think that they're going to go put that in their waiting room as reading material. They will never do it. The magazine is the only tool that exists that you can get in front of a broader client base and not have to really do a lot of heavy lifting to do it. Your next use case, co-branding. Your title company, your lenders, your home inspectors, the people that are in your network, the HVAC people, anybody that you want to put in here with you. It could be your beautician, your nail tech, your barber. All of these people are in relationship-based businesses and they all work off of referrals. You can offer them an opportunity to get in the magazine with you, and it is a very simple way to start leveraging more consistent repeat and referral business, again, without having to do a lot of heavy lifting to do it. And then finally, for those of you that don't have a book of business, for those of you that are starting from scratch and are really kind of new to the business, you're going to need lead generation. You're going to need listing opportunities. This system called Likely to Move will get those for you. We use a system that is using predictive analytics. To keep it simple, basically this software has the ability to look at people's search results online. Very similar to like if you go to YouTube right now and you watch a video on YouTube and then you get back on YouTube 5 minutes later, you're going to see similar videos to what you just watched. Okay, that is predictive analytics. That is the same type of software that we're using. But instead of looking at your video search history, we're looking at your real estate search history. So for example, let's say you gave me your neighborhood. Your neighborhood has 100 homes in it. We can rank and scrub all 100 homes, and I can actually tell you right now who is actively looking for a realtor, who has been consistently online with real estate needs, and we can connect you with those listing opportunities. So this is going to get you hot quality leads that you can go after, and then you have something to send to them so you can connect with them after you identify who they are. Finally, before we get into pricing and incentives, and I'll wrap this up, if you're thinking about doing these type of traditional marketing strategies, and let me just start by saying I am not knocking anything on the screen. My team does a little bit of all these things, but you either fall on one side of the fence or the other. Either you're wining and dining your clients, where you're buying them a bottle of wine or a gift card or a gift basket, or you're taking them out to dinner. I think those are beautiful touch points, but they're very hard to manage and scale your business. You are not going to take 100% of your SOI out to dinner all the time and buy them bottles of wine and gift cards and gift baskets. Okay. You'll go broke trying to do it. If you're on this side of the fence and you're doing newsletters, flyers, postcards, email drip campaign, again, I'm not knocking it, but you have to put yourself in a consumer shoes. If I took every single one of you out of this meeting right now and I asked you when you get home from work tonight and you take off your real estate cap and you're just a consumer, just like everybody else is, go find me a newsletter, a postcard, or a flyer in your mailbox from any local business. I don't care if it's a car dealership, a pest control company, solar panels, whatever they're trying to sell you. I would be hard pressed to think that more than 90% of you would not tell me that you look at it for about 2 seconds and you throw it in the trash can or you recycle it. Now, I'm not saying that some people don't bring these things inside. I think there is a percentage of people that appreciate this and bring it inside. But the reality is that when you bring a postcard or a newsletter inside, you will put it in a pile of other postcards. You will stick it on the side of your refrigerator. You'll put it in your junk drawer in your kitchen or your office. You are not going to put it on your coffee table or your kitchen table or your office or your bathroom. It's just not where people historically will put those things. The magazine will land there for you. So grab your pens. Let me give you guys the pricing and incentives, and we'll wrap this up. I want to have you to your 12:30 Halloween lunch here. So the first thing that we're going to do for you guys, we want to make sure that we come out guns blazing for Fred. You guys were willing to have us out to the office. We want to make this an absolute no-brainer for you. We're going to do a one-time trial. No contract, no commitment, no signing up for 12 months, and you don't even know if this is going to work for you, right? I call it the fear of the unknown. This all looks good. This all sounds good, but I just don't know without a shadow of a doubt is it going to work for my business. This is going to give you the ability to actually dip your toes in the pool and try us one time. Let us prove to you that this works and that we are the company that we say we are. If you can't get the results that you're expecting after the first trial issue, you never have to do it again. Now, the price per magazine, believe it or not, less than a Hallmark card, $4.99. And that is landed to your client's door. That includes all the postage, the shipping, the customizations. We ship it to your client for you. You don't have to do any of this. So we are not going to bog you down with creating this or shipping it. We do it all for you. Now, we only require a minimum of 50 magazines. So it's $249.50 for all 50 magazines. And you will have 30 days to make that payment. Nobody's paying for their magazines up front. We want to give you a shot to look at everything first and make sure you like what it looks like. And then once you're ready to go to print and ship these out, that's when we'll charge you for your magazines. Now, I wanted to show this to you. Don't worry, nobody's going to pay $299 on this team, but I wanted to show this to you because if Fred didn't have us out to the office today, if you just go to remindermedia.com right now and check us out, it is $299 to sign up with our company and have these produced for you. Because Fred was willing to have us out, and by the way, I know Cheryl, I don't know if Cheryl's on the call right now, but she's been a client of ours for about 7 years. So because we have such a long relationship with your team, we wanted to come out guns blazing, and we absolutely are. $99 if you want to sign up for this thing for our holiday issue. So let me bring everything full circle for the team. $4.99 per magazine, minimum of 50 magazines, $249.50. You have 30 days to make that payment. The only upfront cost that you pay to get set up with us is $99. And then there's a few additional incentives that come with the 99 that I haven't mentioned. One of the incentives is this one right here that I'm circling. It is exclusive mailing list protection. This is a game changer. This is how you're going to make sure that you're the only magazine in the mailbox. We protect your list. So if you mail your magazine to a past client or a new client, you own that address. Nobody else can mail these magazines to your client other than you. So you don't have to worry about any cross marketing or anybody getting magazines from multiple different realtors. You will be the only magazine in the mailbox. The second incentive that we give you for the 99 is the unlimited predictive analytics. That is the likely to move system where we will find you listing opportunities. That is unlimited. We will pull the list for you. You don't have to do anything. We will show you where the listings are at. The next incentive is the unlimited landing pages with the trackable QR code. That's the QR codes that we track for you when people scan them with the call to action. And then last but not least, you are going to get support from a dedicated marketing advisor. We are going to make everything I just showed you completely turnkey. You give me your headshot, and if you have any past clients that you want to mail it to, you would give us the list of clients that you want to mail it to, and the rest of this is history. We do all the heavy lifting for you. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and drop this down really quickly. I'm going to pop open this different page for you. Pull out your phones and scan this QR code. This is going to get you grandfathered into the $99 offer that we just said, and it's going to get you also grandfathered into all the other incentives that we mentioned. Fred, I want to go one step further for your team. I know there's some clients or some colleagues in the office that might have worked with us in the past. If you're a past client and you like what you see and you want to give this another shot for the holiday season, right? Because it's not a question of should you mail something out for fourth quarter. It is only a question of what should you mail out. If you're a past client and you want to do this one more time, I'm going to credit the $99 setup fee towards your mailing. So again, for past clients only, you will pay the 99 bucks today, just like everybody else, but we're going to credit that 99 towards the mailing of your magazine. We're not going to charge you another setup fee. Additionally, I'm going to buy everybody in this room 15 free magazines on me. That's my early Christmas gift to you. So everybody's going to get 65 magazines for the price of 50. If you're a past client, your $99 setup fee will be credited to you. And then last but not least, I am going to make the $99 setup fee 100% risk-free and refundable for the next 30 days. I'm not going to hurt my relationship with Fred and your team over you wanting to cancel. We're going to give you guys 30 days to look at everything with a fine-tooth comb and dot your I's and cross your T's. If you are not convinced that you want to move forward with this and pay for the magazines, we're going to refund you the 99 bucks, no questions asked. So, Fred, Alexia, I want to thank you again for giving me the opportunity to present this. I'm happy to open up the floor for some quick Q&A while everybody has a chance to scan the QR code and get signed up.
Thank you, Ryan. Does anyone have any questions that they wanna ask him?
So the photographers, all that stuff, do they take photographers or we have to send them the?
Ryan, were you able to catch that?
No, can you repeat the question for me?
She wants to know for like the pictures part, is that something the agents have to provide?
The content, the pictures inside the magazine, or the
Yes.
headshot of the agent themselves?
Yes,
The agent.
the agent.
The agent headshot? We can do headshots
Yes.
for you. So if you don't have a headshot, we do free headshots. So we'll get your headshot together for you if you don't already have an existing headshot. And then in terms of the content, we write all the content for you. We do the entire magazine for you. You don't have to do any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Great question.
Besides the hard copy, is also, do you have like electronic copy of the magazine?
Yeah, we can give you digital copies of the magazine as well. We give you up to it with the trial, we give you up to 1,000 digital magazines that you can send out. So we can get this to everybody that's not getting the physical copy. We can make sure that they get the digital copy if they're not going to get a physical. Great question.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, Ryan, so much. I think we are done. I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time and for the information.
Of course.
Um,
And for those of you that just might have more questions or want to pick me apart a little bit, scan the QR code. It doesn't mean that you're officially moving forward with this. You don't have to pay the 99 yet. If you want me to call you later this afternoon or tomorrow and we can kind of recap some of this stuff and you can ask me more questions, scan the QR code. That way I know that you're intrigued and you want me to, answer some questions for you. But I would tell you guys, do not sleep on this, right? This is a beautiful touch point to get out for your clients before the first of the year. Nobody's going to sit around on Thanksgiving and Christmas and make buying and selling decisions, but they are going to be having those conversations. You need to get in front of those conversations and have something that has you top of mind. This will get you in a pole position for first quarter and really elevate your brand. Thank you guys again for the opportunity. I am looking forward to working with the team.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to give you host capability. So give me one. I'm going to give it back to you really quickly, Alexia, before we hang up here. You just make sure you have it. Yeah, give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah. Mhm. Thank you, Ryan. I got it.
Of
No
course.
worries.
Okay, rock and roll. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome.